Hey everybody, and welcome to the third video in the HTML5 tutorial series. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to add text to your website, and I'm going to be going over the most common elements that are used when adding text to your website. So before we do start adding text, I'm going to go back up here to the head section, and if you remember in the last tutorial, we're going to go ahead and add the title element. And if you don't remember, the title is what is shown in the open tab in your web browser, like the title of the website. So we're just going to put our first website, and I'll show you again what that does after we get a little more stuff added to our document. Alright, so now to the text stuff. I'm in the body section of my document, and before I start entering this stuff in, if you notice, instead of having all of these things in line right over here against this, little sidewall right here, I tab them over, and that is just to read the code a lot easier. So the HTML I'll leave right here against this, that way I see that it wraps around everything in the document. And then the head section I've tabbed over, and the body section I've tabbed over in line with the head, and then anything else I'll just tab over one more time from this line. And that just makes your code a lot easier to read, and I also will space between each element I use or add to the page. So you might want to start practicing that, just so later on when you have a lot more complicated code that you can kind of find stuff a lot easier, and it's just easier to navigate through. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be going over when it comes to text are the headings, and they start at H1 and they go to H6, and this is what I mean right here. We have our H1 heading, the opening tag right here, and we have the closing tag, and that's the same for all of them. The only thing that's different is the numbers you can see. So I'm going to show you what this does right here and what it looks like. So we're going to go up here and we are going to save our document, and then we're going to go to our web browser and open it, and we're just going to go to File, we're going to go to Open File, and then we're going to find that folder that we're using. So that folder, that blank folder you created in the first tutorial on your desktop, you're going to go to it, and then inside that folder you should have a .html file saved. And here's our file that we're working with right now, and we're going to select Open, and it's going to open that right here in our web browser and show you what it would look like in the web browser. And here are the different size of headings. This very top one is the H1 heading. It's going to be your biggest heading, and it's also the main heading for your website or your web page. And then from there, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. And this is pretty much, you can see that it's displayed these in different size fonts. So now back over to our other document, our HTML document. Those are the headings right there. So I'm going to get rid of these, and I'm going to show you, if you just have normal text to add, we're going to use the paragraph element, and that's going to be the P. And we have an opening and closing one like all the others, and then I'm just going to type a paragraph. So I'm going to save my document again, and I'm going to go over here to Firefox. And since I've saved my document and I already have it opened right here, all I got to do is hit the refresh button, and it will now just refresh and show me what I have in my file currently. So this is what a paragraph text looks like right here. And you'll see that it's just plain black regular text right now. If we want to change the text or the text color or move this text around on the page, we would use CSS. And I'm not going to cover that right now, but further on in these tutorials I will start implementing CSS and teaching you how to use CSS and just how to style the layout of your web page. Because if you remember, HTML is pretty much just to add all the images and the text and that kind of stuff to your web page, and then CSS is where you come in and you start moving the stuff around on the page and creating the layout and the font colors, font sizes, and different types of font. And so we'll be covering that later on. Alright, so now we're going to implement the H1 tag, and we're going to have the paragraph. So we'll just have main heading, and then we're going to go down here And inside this paragraph tag, we're going to make it a little longer. Really long sentence. Alright, so say we want to, there's another element, and it's the I element, and it's going to look like this. We're going to have this, and it added in my other one, so I'm just going to delete that out. And this is the italics element. So there's the closing one, and this is going to italicize the word really. So if I save this document again, and then I come over here to my web browser and refresh, we have a main heading, which, you know, we can change the text to whatever, and then we have our paragraph, and you'll notice that the word really is italicized now. So that's how you italicize words, such as names or just different things in the sentence that you would want to make italicized. And now if we go back over here, say we want the paragraph word in bold text. Well, there's an element for that, and it is the B element. So we want to surround the word we're going to make bold in the opening B tag and the closing B tag. And this is what it's going to look like right here. You'll notice we still have our space before the B and after the B. So I'm going to go up here and save the document and go back to our web browser. Refresh, and you can see that now paragraph is bold and really is still italicized. So now let's go over here, and okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove this and just get it back to a normal sentence, and say we wanted half of this on a different line, because right now it's all on one line. Now we can come over here and you'll see that if I do this, well, that's as far as it goes. But say we wanted to change that and have this sentence on two different lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the line break element, and this element's a little different. Instead of having an opening tag and a closing tag, it's just one single one, and this is what it looks like right here. It's just the less than sign / break, which is BR, and then the greater than sign, and that's all it is right there. So we're going to save this. We're going to go back to our web browser and refresh, and you can see that it right there where we had it in our code, it made it go to a different line. So that's how you make a sentence, or there's some other different elements you can use it with that I'll show you later. But that's how you make that, appear on two different lines. So those are pretty much the most common things that you will use with text. There are some others, and I'll cover them later on also, but this is just the kind of the main things right now. So that's pretty much it. Another thing I want to show you, if I'm on this sentence and say I space this out right here and put a bunch of space in between it, I'm going to go up here and save this document and go back to my web browser. I'm going to refresh it. You'll notice that it doesn't do anything different. It just reads it exactly how it is, even though we have all those spaces. And this is called white space right here. And the web browsers don't put white space in on the web browser on your web page. And also, if I was to enter this in down to the next line, save it, and go back to my web browser, refresh, it's not going to do anything either. That's why we use the line break element, is to create that look. That's what makes the web browser actually throw this text right here on the next line. Even though we have it on the same line in our text editor, the web browser sees that and says, hey, I need to put the rest of this on the next line. So those are the most common text elements you'll be working with, and that's going to be it for this tutorial. In the next couple tutorials, I'll be showing you how to add links to your website, and how to use div tags, and how to put a header on your web page, and we'll just keep building on each tutorial and just keep getting deeper and deeper into it. So if you want to keep following along, click the subscribe button in this video or below this video. give this video a like or leave a comment, and I appreciate you watching.